Well, good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana Weather. Wanted to bring you a quick forecast update this afternoon. We have some rain moving in for tomorrow, but the bigger story moves in later in the week on Wednesday. Storm Prediction Center does have us under a slight risk for severe weather. That's what's hatched out here in the yellow in this 15% zone, a enhanced risk just to our southwest here in the 30% area. So basically what this means, this is the Storm Prediction Center's idea of where severe weather is the most likely to strike on Wednesday. So any merit to this? Well, this is going to be another one of those complex setups, and if you watched my forecast videos last week, I had some problems with the Storm Prediction Center's outlook. I have some problems with this one to do. I really believe this is more wish casting than it is forecasting for them, and let me show you what I mean. First off, let's look at the data. Winds, they're cranking out there, and that's probably why they're issuing this. But there will be some problems I shall show you here in a second. Let me just talk about where we're at. Here we are in the state of Indiana, right here. And it's a little hard to see, especially if you're watching this on a mobile screen. But there you go. But you've got an upper level low system right here, and basically winds are just cranking in a very good way. And right here we are in the exit region where you've got upper level divergence going on, and that's essentially winds going in different directions as it exits and sort of rounds this trough. And you notice you've got winds to 100 knots coming into the area. So that is most certainly some cranking winds. Wind speeds, this is looking at winds around 40,000 feet. Remember, for organized severe weather, you need winds about 35, 40 knots. We got them to almost 100 in portions of the area. So certainly the wind speeds there, even in the lower levels of the atmosphere. Indiana is right in here. We've got a cranking low-level jet down around 4,000 feet above the ground as well. So all that translates to bulk shear. This is the change in wind speed as you go from the surface up, and plenty of bulk shear. Again, 35 to 40 units a knot is plenty. We've got even on 70 and 80 knots around the area. In fact, we've even got a change in wind direction. So not only do you have speed shear, but you've got directional shear as you go up. This is what you need if you want to get tornadoes to develop. Here's the problem, though. As we take a look at all this, we understand there are three things that we basically need. You need cold front or some sort of a trigger mechanism to fire those storms. You need good wind energy to continue to support them for organized severe weather. But you got to have some instability as well to add that fuel to the fire. You don't have instability, storms just tend to end up going flat, and you usually don't get severe weather with that. Now, sometimes very strong wind energy can overcome the Cape, being next to nothing, but the honest truth is that's pretty rare. Well, this is exactly what we see in Cape. If we just take a look at our Cape parameter, convective available potential energy, just a measure of instability in the atmosphere, nada, a big fat zilch over our area. This is a little bit of Cape right along the cold front out to our west. That's pretty much about it. As you take a look at this, and this is, I know, confusing to many of you, but basically what I'm doing is slicing a shot at that particular time frame up through the atmosphere in this modeling. And this is what I want you to show. We're looking at instability in all levels of the atmosphere, and whether you're going from the very beginning all the way up to the top parts of the atmosphere, Cape is a big, fat, absolute nothing. Just, it's probably not going to happen, folks. You actually got to have some Cape to be able to get some storms to sustain themselves. So what might happen then is at portions out to our west under that stronger wind could see some storms out there. As they start to push their way, though, what's likely going to happen is they become more flat because they don't have the instability, and it turns into a rain event. That is exactly what we saw last week. That's my gut feeling for what's going to happen this week as well. I can show you that here on Future Radar to give you an idea. By the way, Monday will be a pretty wet day, and here you start to see things moving in. During the morning hours on Monday, we get some showers moving in. I'll show you the high-res radar here in just a moment of that. But here we come as we go through the day on Wednesday, which is Veterans Day, by the way. There you got that low-pressure system out to our west starting to take shape. In fact, it could even be a pretty decent little snowmaker for some parts of the Great Plains states out there. As it pushes our way, though, you can see there we've got a small line starting to form, but it looks very flat. It's just some showers. This might be any severe part that would be out here, but notice the time frame we're looking at Thursday at 0Z. That's 7 p.m. on Wednesday night, And of course, the sun's already down by that time, and the way this is also rotating, moving up like this, I just have a hard time seeing anything. This is as far as future radar goes out, but I'm not looking at a very impressive future radar at this point. Any severe weather that would come in would not happen until very late in the night, likely more towards the midnight hour as we approach Thursday morning. And the reality is we hardly ever get severe weather during that time. Usually what happens is the energy is all used up by that time, and it becomes just pretty much a heavy rain event for us. And that's likely what will happen with this too, just like the last system. Very plenteous wind energy last week with the quote-unquote small severe chances that we did have. The marginal risk and the slight risk that we are under at various points in times had no justification to it. We didn't even need it. There was no severe weather throughout that day that ever really materialized. That's the most probable case for what's going to happen here as well, just to be completely honest with you. I think that this whole idea of putting us under a slight risk this far to the west is just not good at this point. I suspect in future updates that they ought to scale that area back a little bit based on the data that I am seeing. Now, of course, things could change as we get closer to time. We actually end up getting some sunshine and getting some instability in there. Could be a completely different story, but that doesn't look like that's going to happen. It looks like a pretty cloudy day from the way things look to me right now. Now, just beyond that, though, we do have some other showers. We'll go ahead and show you the high-res data here. Later this evening, we've got showers that start to move in. They'll move in more during the overnight hours, early Monday morning hours, and you can see it looks like a pretty wet day around here. No severe weather risk tomorrow, though. It's just some showers, and really that severe weather risk wouldn't come until late Wednesday night if it does. And, well, folks, as I said, the risk is just extremely low. So here's the way the forecast shakes out. You can go to southernindianaweather.com to get this. Upper 50s for your highs tomorrow with some showers likely. Back to the 60s for Tuesday and Wednesday. Certainly the warmth will be there, but again, instability. It'll be a mostly cloudy sky. If we get a few breaks in the clouds, we'll just have to see about that. A pretty breezy day overall, though. Showers and thunderstorms are possible, but the most likely scenario would be a non-severe weather threat. We'll keep it updated and we'll see. After that cold front then moves in, we get cooler for the weekend. In fact, we got temperatures coming below freezing for some mornings as we head our way. But that's the way things shake out right now. Again, you'll see this floating around on the internet and on social media, I'm sure. Don't get too worked up about it yet. We'll see whether there's any merit to it come about Wednesday, but my gut instinct tells me, folks, not looking hopeful for severe weather this week. The parameters just really aren't lining up. That's it, folks. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Have a great night.